Hi folks, welcome to the Mennonitefarmhouse. I'm Leanne and today we are making pumpkin pie spice lattes from dehydrated pumpkin. Well, this time of year, pumpkins are going to be dirt cheap. I just love being able to harvest pumpkin into powder. It's a lot easier than canning. Canning, you have to peel the pumpkin, which can be dangerous. I've probably cut myself once or twice. And then you have to cut it into 2-inch cubes, blanch it, then pressure can it. And then when you open the jar, you have to let it drain so it's not so runny to use. And this method, all you have to do is wash the pumpkin, roast it at 375 for 20 minutes, turn it into a puree, put it on your dehydrator sheets, and dry it till it's completely dry at 125. Then turn it into powder using a Vitamix or maybe a spice grinder. It might take you a little bit, but you'll get there. I love using pumpkin powder to make lattes, pumpkin swirl blondies, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin roll, pumpkin pie, pumpkin whoopie pies with cream cheese and maple filling. My husband, that is his favorite whoopie pie. I just find this way healthier than buying it from the store in a tin can because you don't know what's in that tin can. It might be full of sugar for all we know. For me, I'm a control freak when it comes to my food. So pumpkin powder, I feel, is my best way to use pumpkin. You take 2 cups of boiling water to a 1/4 cup of powder to make 2 cups of pumpkin puree. Once you powder your pumpkin, it'll be good for 6 to 9 months, just like in a jar like this, but you could put it into a jar that's completely full with an oxygen absorber, and that could be good for 20 years or so. I don't freeze pumpkin puree just because freezer is high-end real estate for freezer can. I have made pumpkin spice lattes for my church group when I decided that we all needed to get together and just have fellowship after 2020 happened. We do that once a month now during the school year just to be able to get together and have fellowship and come closer together. So I hope this inspires you to want to be more self-sufficient. My pumpkin spice latte probably will cost you maybe $1 to make if you have to buy your milk, your vanilla, your sugar, your pumpkin, and all that. $1. And after you break down how much pumpkin you need, that price will go down. Think about it. During the pumpkin spice season, you could probably save at least $50 on if you go through Starbucks, at least once or 2 or 3 times a week. I can't because Starbucks is at least 40 minutes from my house, and we just don't go to Starbucks around here. So let's get started. 4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of ground cloves, and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg because it is very strong. And it's probably why some people don't like it. I love nutmeg. Maybe it's because I grind mine fresh. All right. And for the hardest part of making pumpkin pie spice is to whisk it together. Amazing, right? This will save you lots of money at the store because this bottle might cost you, what, $2 or $3, maybe $4 now at the store. All right, this recipe makes only 2 lattes, or 1 for a Monday morning when it's raining. You want a 1/2 tablespoon of your pumpkin powder in a bowl, and you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of boiling hot water and add it to your powder here. Let's see if I even had 2 tablespoons of water since I've been talking so much. 1. And not. But all right, you're gonna let this sit for 5 minutes to reconstitute. And make sure your water and your powder are getting together. They can be lovers. All right, we're gonna let this sit for 5 minutes. Our time is up. Add our puree and our pumpkin pie spice. And we're gonna have this on medium-high heat, and we're gonna stir this constantly for 2 minutes. And I'm using a wire whisk that is just for liquids. Now the original recipe calls for black pepper, just 1/3 of a teaspoon. I tried it and I didn't care for it. You can add it to yours if you care for black pepper in this. All right. All right. Now we're gonna add the sugar. And you want to get this bubbly. And you don't want this to burn since we're at medium-high heat here. I guess people just don't have time to make them. You can make this ahead of time and just heat it up when you're ready to serve to your guests. I've done that. I've even taken it to my friend's house. All right, we're bubbly. So we are supposed to be a bubbly thick syrup. I think we are there. So stir in your milk. And your vanilla. We want to gently warm this. You don't want to bring it to a boil. This is how much espresso I use. I just use K-cups when I want to serve some latte. Now, since I'm done brewing my espresso, I'm going to divide it by, not spilling it, but you know, messes are my middle name. All right. I don't need that much caffeine. It's halfway through the day. All right. Next up, you want to pour in to any blender. You do not need a Vitamix for this, but you know how I feel about my Vitamix. All right. You just want to froth it, so you can just put it on one. You get it bubbly, narrated. For about 30 seconds. All right. Well, look at that froth. All right. I think my cup's not big enough. And the best part about lattes is the whipped cream. I almost forgot to give you a taste test. My bad. I was guzzling this. No, I wasn't. I was sipping it nicely. And then I was like, oh, my friends might want, you know, an opinion on this. Yeah. it's definitely fall now. I finally got my first cup of pumpkin pie spice latte. So you see how easy it is to take pumpkin powder and turning it into a drink within what, 10 minutes tops? What if you would open a jar of pumpkin just to make a cup of coffee? But you know, it is what it is. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what kind of latte you love, and maybe I'll bring you over for a cup of coffee sometime soon. Thanks for joining in, and thank you. God bless. I'm thinking this house is actually silent except for that clock.